cut down to 1 minute. I was like, this is going to, like, fuck up at some point. And then it didn't. I was like, it's going to fuck up at the payment. Like, I'm going to press payment. It's going to say, sorry, issue, messed up. Can't put it in cart or what, something like that. And it's like, $541. Yeah. It's like, all right, we took your money. Go.
So there you go. You got a PlayStation now, buddy.
Yes.
Fantastic. I heard they were doing a big shipment for the holidays. So that makes sense that, leading up to that, you were able to get one in. You went for the disc?
Yes. That was the only one that was being sold at the time anyway. So it's
like scammed out of $100.
I think I got my money's worth of $100. That's pretty good. I think so.
Anyway, well, that's good.
I'll be able to collect my discs again. I can
Fantastic.
buy everything on that.
Do you have a ship date?
Not yet. No.
Not yet. No. Okay. All right. Well, finally, you can start catching up.
Yeah.
Start playing some must plays, some Ratchet and Clank, some Stray.
I'm going to disappoint you, Tavin, right now. I'm going to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Great.
Well, I figured.
Yeah. I was going to get Demon Souls. That was going to be my first thing to knock off. But I think I'll wait a little bit, especially because Elden Ring's right around the corner, and I'll be getting enough of that in the months to come. So I don't know about after that. I think I might play Deathloop. I'll see.
Get some Returnal, baby.
Returnal? Oh, yeah.
Get some Returnal.
You're always shilling for
Returnal. Get some Returnal in your system, Connor. Get it in there. Anyways, Connor, let's drop some sense on him.
Yes.
What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 71. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host, Connor Elliott. Say hello to the people, Connor.
Hello.
And, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, we do this show every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time. You can catch us at youtube.com/2pennygamescast or any mainstream podcast service of your choice. The Spotifys, the Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, etc. We're out there. Give us a like, give us a follow, share it with one of your little nerdy friends who likes video games. Now, what specifically about video games do we talk about here at the Two Penny Gamescast? Well, we talk about the new news you need to know. Me and Connor sit down every week and give you 2 topics, 2 pennies, if you will, and give you our 2 cents on them. But if you'd like to go watch us play video games live, you can catch us over at twitch.tv/2pennygames, where we do a show called Hype, H-Y-E-P, Have You Ever Played, in which me and my good buddy Phil sit down and we show each other video games the other one has never seen before. This week is a very important week because we're finally starting some God of War 2018 for Sir Philip. He's never played it before. He has no idea what's going to happen going into it. It's a very exciting time. Connor, you're joining us this week?
I am, yes.
Fantastic.
It is important to note that he did play 3 before
He did play, so he has a little bit of context. A little bit of context.
More context than I had, and I think you had when you played the game. I think you played one of them.
I had played 1 and most of 2 by the time I played 2018. I played 3 after 2018.
Okay. So the one leading into that
but
one.
I mean, I for the most part knew everything. But anyways, come join us, twitch.tv/2pennygames, Tuesday, 1 p.m. Keep an eye out for the God of War 3 after the Hype review, which should be coming as soon as I can get off my ass and finish that edit. But anyways, Connor, let's get right into the news. The news this week... Listen, guys, it's the holiday season. We're going to be slow for a minute. It's worth noting, next week is our predictions episode for the Game Awards.
So no new news then.
No new news next week, but if this week is any indictment of next week, it's just going to be leaks of what's at the Game Awards and then the Game Awards. But anyways, so next week, Game Awards predictions. Phil will be joining us. We're doing the whole shebang that we did last year. Predictions, who's going to win, who's not, who did we vote for, etc. It's a good time. Come check it out. I'm sure it's going to be a long one with the 3 of us there all talking.
Yeah. I think then the last time we only did us 2, if I remember correctly. Yes.
Yeah. I believe the first time Phil joined the podcast was for the top 10 games of all time. I believe
that makes sense. I remember that.
Anyways, let's get into this first penny. First topic, your first penny of the day. Just a quick update from last week's news that we talked about. Nintendo has joined the big 3 in shaming Activision Blizzard. We're pulling a Fanbyte article by one Imran Khan. Nintendo issues internal response to Activision Blizzard reports. Excuse me. Last week, a bombshell report from Wall Street Journal detailed the ways in which the Activision Blizzard CEO, Bobby Kotick, both intervened to protect abusers at the company and allegedly acted as one himself. If prompted, this outlet It prompted this outlet to demand his resignation, that blah, blah, blah. It also prompted longtime Activision partners, platform holders, PlayStation and Xbox, to send internal missives to employees expressing concern over Kodak's behavior and the ongoing harassment lawsuits against Activision. Wow. Both of these emails leaked to the public. No response from email has breached its fortified walls until now, as Fanbyte has received the company's internal response from a verified source. An email sent by Ninteendo of America President Doug Bowser, sent on Friday, November 19th, addresses the Activision Blizzard report. The email went out to all levels of Ninteendo of America, including internal development houses like Retro Studios and newly acquired Next Level Games. Quote, along with all of you, I've been following the latest developments with Activision Blizzard and the ongoing reports of sexual harassment and toxicity at the company. I find these accounts distressing and disturbing. They run counter to my values as well as Nintendo's beliefs, values, and policies. Bowser goes on in the letter to explain that Nintendo is committed to having an open and inclusive workplace where all are welcome. He remarks the company holds itself to this standard and expects the same from the industry and their partners. Though, without detail, Bowser also says representatives at Nintendo have been, quote, in contact with Activision, have taken action, and are assessing others. It is not entirely clear what actions Bowser is referring to here, or which ones they are still leaving on the table. He does, however, make mention of the ESA, a lobbying organization of which both Nintendo and Activision Blizzard are members. Bowser says Nintendo has been working with the ESA as of at least last week to strengthen stances on harassment and abuse in the workplace, and that the ESA must hold its members to the highest standard. Quote, every company in the industry must create an environment where everyone is respected and treated as equals, and where all understand the consequences of not doing so. And then, as an update to this article, Nintendo does confirm that the email is legit. So, Connor, really just an update. The biggest piece of news, I think, and it's subtle here, is where we go at the end where Nintendo is talking to the ESA about, yo, all right, they're fucking up over here. Let's get them in line. Mm-hmm. So that is a little more action than we saw for both PlayStation and Xbox, where it seemed like it was just marketing deals that, you know, are probably going to be affected, or sales relationships at the most. Excuse me. But, of course, Call of Duty is so big, you can't take it off your digital store. That would be ridiculous. But Nintendo doesn't really have to worry about Call of Duty now, do they?
Not at all. They're not really the device people play Call of Duty on.
Absolutely not.
Is it even offered on Switch, the new Call of Duty? I don't think I've heard anything about it being.
I don't think on Switch, no.
Yeah. So it's
Call of Duty's played around on the Wii and the Wii U, but very quickly jumped ship, mm-hmm. and then I don't recall it ever being advertised for Switch, but that doesn't mean it's not possible.
Yeah. Well, Nintendo's not really known for jumping in on these kinds of things. Usually when there's some kind of scandal going on, you don't hear much.
Keep to themselves.
Yes, they do. This is the first time I can remember where they actually took any sort of action, and it's surprising that it's actually more than what Sony and Microsoft, who said, you know,
they're not even Nintendo, not even the biggest like Activision Blizzard partners. Like, sure, you can find Activision Blizzard games on Nintendo platforms, and you know, like Diablo's on there, and Overwatch is on there, and you know, there are games published by Activision Blizzard on the Nintendo Switch, but you know, for the most part, it's always like, and it's coming to Switch. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool for whoever wants that. But it's not like, I play it on Switch. Nobody says that, really.
No.
You know, you're either on the PlayStation, you're on the Xbox, you're on PC, et cetera, et cetera. So,
and that makes sense of why they're going through the ESA to get at Activision Blizzard, not through their games like Sony was planning on doing.
That's where they can swing their stick. That's where they can do some damage. So, good on you, Bowser. Good on you, Nintendo as a whole, for joining the fight. We definitely appreciate it. Mm-hmm. You know, considering you're one of them big dogs. You know,
one
of them big. Woo, woo,
Nintendo carries a lot of weight. So
a lot of weight.
Finally, good to see them throwing it around in some meaningful way, rather than just taking like Super Mario games off the.
In which we go. Okay. All right. Moving on. Second topic of the day. My first penny. DICE's head of design, Fawzi Mesmer, leaves company following Battlefield 2042 launch. This is an IGN article by Adam Bankhurst. Fawzi Mesmer, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name, DICE's head of design that worked on the Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront franchises, has decided to leave the company following the launch of Battlefield 2042. As reported by VGC, his departure was announced via every once in a while. IGN articles they put this little. They put this annoying little thing over the text, and I can't read it. Okay,
yeah,
there we go. As reported by VGC, his departure was announced via an email sent to DICE's staff, and it, quote, revealed he'd been planning to leave for some time once the studio's latest shooter had been shipped. Mesmer had served at DICE's head of design since 2019, a job he took after being Candy Crush developer King Studios director, production, and game design. Quote, "It was an absolute pleasure to serve on the best design teams in the galaxy," Mesmer wrote in his email to the staff. Quote, "The incredible design work that you do continues to inspire me every day. Thank you for putting some faith in me. I hope I didn't disappoint. I have been made an offer I couldn't refuse at another company that has been kind enough to wait for me until we have shipped Battlefield 2042. It was super important to me to be here with the team as we achieve this historical milestone. While Oscar Gabrielson, studio GM, and myself have been discussing my succession plans for some time, and it will be announced in due course, we opted to delay this communication till after launch to keep the focus, rightfully so, on the game we've been putting a monumental amount of effort on. Mesmer official final day will be November 26th, and his current unknown next position will also be based in Stockholm, Sweden. Battlefield 2042 was released on November 19th, 2021, and has been a bit of a... Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's really just the news, is that the head who's been there for just a few years now is moving on, doing something else. This happens all the time, transitions, especially after a big game launches. You'll see people step down, people step back, people retire, people move to different studios, etc. And that's really the case here. It has nothing to do with the state of Battlefield 2042.
Which is what I thought when I first saw this article headline. I was like, maybe he just didn't want to deal with that company anymore. But obviously it's not connected to that. This was planned long before in advance. It is just industry standard. Like, once you finish making some kind of game, obviously that's the big decision about, okay, am I going to stick with this studio to jump onto whatever project they start on, or do I start putting in applications elsewhere and go work on some other game? So, pretty standard. Pretty standard
cards. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Good, do your thing, Mesmer.
Just kind of surprising when you have scandals or weird things happen, and that's usually the big headlines of why people leave.
Especially because Battlefield 2042 has not been well received at launch, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But I think that's really about it. Pretty much that. So let's go ahead and move on to topic number 3. Connor, your second penny of the day. Mm-hmm. Here we go. All right.
You're upset at
so,
this?
Pulling a VGC article by Tom Ivan, the upcoming big PlayStation remake is reportedly Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross, which was released for the original PlayStation in 1999, was one of many unannounced titles listed in an NVIDIA database leak in September, which we've covered on this show at least once. Mm-hmm. A list the company subsequently admitted was real, even if it said the games didn't necessarily exist. The following month, VGC reported on claims that PlayStation was set to announce a remake of a big game this Christmas, which were made by a musician who said they were involved with its soundtrack. Folk singer Ava McCohen, who performs as Ava, told Irish radio station WLR-FM that she had recorded an Irish-language theme for the game, which had yet to be revealed. And according to Xbox Era co-founder Nick Baker, the remake in question is Chrono Cross Remastered. Quote, "Chrono Cross Remastered, I think, was already on the NVIDIA leak list, so the game shouldn't be a surprise. It was on NVIDIA's list. But I was told that the VGC article is about Chrono Cross Remastered," he said on the latest Xbox Era podcast. "What else I was told, because everyone's working under the assumption it's a PlayStation exclusive, is I've been told that it's not. The only word that was used was multi-plat. Now, when I hear JRPG and multi-plat, I automatically assume PC, PlayStation, Switch. That's my assumption. That's not what I was told. That's just my assumption. All my source said to me was multi-plat. That's what they said. They told me it wasn't PlayStation exclusive." Baker continued, quote, "But I think there's confusion because it says that PlayStation is set to announce it, so everyone just works under the assumption that PlayStation is announcing something that would be exclusive, which they don't always do. Pragmata isn't exclusive. They've announced plenty of stuff that isn't exclusive. But again, I don't know if Xbox is one of those platforms. I work under the assumption it's not because it's a JRPG. During her radio interview, McMahon claimed she worked on the mystery PlayStation game soundtrack with composer Michael McGlynn and his daughter, who sang on the track in question. And then, yeah, there's been a couple of things. So, meh.
I find it really funny that in this article, the first thing they do that, like, isn't a part of the article, the first video, is the launch trailer for Chrono Trigger. Not even related to Chrono Cross. It's kind of like they're like, hey, this other game exists. It came before it. So
yeah.
Did it come before? No,
Trigger came
after,
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trigger came first, Cross came later.
Yeah, there was another Chrono game that came before Trigger that was not this. I got that mixed up.
Anyways, meh. Okay, yeah. I mean, I've never played Chrono Cross, so I'm automatically not like giving it a fair shot. But I've heard people like Chrono Cross, but it's no Chrono Trigger. I've played, the opening hours of Chrono Trigger and was in love with it, and then just fell off.
Yeah. Yeah, Chrono Trigger is one of my favorite games. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Which at first I was a little bit like, I wish that was getting a remastered. But in fairness, Chrono Cross, it's not a remake, so it's a remastered, which should be said just to shore up any confusion that people might have.
So let's stop there. Remaster, not remake. So is this the big PlayStation game that we keep hearing about?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Wouldn't be one of those games, I don't feel.
No, this is something that I feel like would just be announced like not in a sizzle reel, but like in a series of smaller announcements of, oh, hey, by the way, we're doing this.
Yeah, recently they did the new Final Fantasy games, the old Final Fantasy games remastered, and new pixelated stuff, whatever. They released that recently. Those were multiple Final Fantasy games that are arguably bigger than Chrono Cross, and that just was kind of a footnote almost. Like, hey, we're releasing these little games that you can play that you may not otherwise have had access to.
You're talking the joints that only came to mobile and Steam.
Oh, yes, Steam specifically, the Steam remasters of those games. Because the current PC versions were pretty whack, and they were not good.
Right.
So that's why they needed to happen. While I can just see this as an example of them trying to push Chrono Cross because, people haven't really played it, and maybe there's a market for it. Don't know if it'll make big waves. It's probably not.
I don't think it will. I don't think there's a single world in which a remaster of Chrono Cross makes any kind of splash at the Game Awards, at E3, at whatever. You're gonna get drowned in all these other games. I mean, more power to it. I think I've spoken a few times on this show that I think the history of video games is important, and we need to make a bigger effort in restoring some of these games that like are kind of lost to time and lost on consoles that die out quick, or like Nintendo cartridges have batteries in them and they die, and once they're gone, and there's a limited number, and et cetera, et cetera. It's hard to get your hands on. So I think it's really, really important that we get as many old games as we can onto newer platforms. They really are just the thing attached is really just Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, it's the launch trailer for Chrono Trigger.
That's insane.
Anyways. They knew. And now, some people I saw were a little bit upset that this wasn't a remaster of Chrono Trigger, which I can understand, but it makes a lot more sense that if they were going to do anything with Chrono Trigger due to its influence and its popularity, they would be focusing on a remake rather than a remaster. Well, they can still definitely do a remaster, but
it might be a 1-2 punch of here's a Chrono Cross remaster, and then the world exclusive, and then the fade to black, the big orchestra, the lights, the cameras, all of that fun stuff, and then it's the Chrono Trigger remake.
I could definitely believe that, especially because there was hype at some point generated. I was never really keyed in on it, but apparently there was a fan-made remake of Chrono Trigger that was going on that got shut down. I know they had some music released for it, remasters of old songs, and people were a little bit bummed. I found out after the fact that this was never going to be released. So it would make sense that could be in somehow related to the big game, but probably not even that. It's probably something completely different.
We shall see.
We shall.
Is this at the Game Awards, yes or no?
Yeah, because they have 49 games, something like that.
Yeah.
I could see them being one of the smaller things that they say, hey, here's this Chrono Cross, and it says it's going to release it in December.
It's set to come this year.
Yeah.
We're running out of time, and I don't think you don't rush the marketing of a big remake game,
No.
Especially if you're PlayStation. Like you give that a long tail.
Yeah. If remake's anything to go off of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
But if it's just like a quick Chrono Cross remaster, okay, I can understand. It's like, hey, by the way, this is out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, or today. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm right there with you on pretty much all of that. I do think this does make an appearance at the Game Awards. I do think it's just a quick, cheap buck, and I think, and then it might lead into the announcement of something a little more exciting.
And once again, I've heard this game's good. It just Trigger is, exceeds it in every way.
When you're next to Trigger,
yeah,
it's
you can't really win.
It's a problem. Speaking of triggers,
long time Trigger.
I don't know what that means. Anyways,
I don't know either.
Moving on to our final topic of the day. Kojima, he's finally he's making some movies.
Yeah, about fucking time.
Kojima.
He doesn't shut up about him, so might as well do him.
So, pulling another IGN article from Jared Moore, Kojima Productions opens a division to release movies, TV, and music. The new offices will be based in Los Angeles, California. Death Stranding developer Kojima Productions has opened a new division in LA that will be dedicated to movies, TV, and music. As reported by GamesIndustry.biz, the new studio will be led by former PlayStation Vice President of Business Affairs Riley Russell, who will lead the California team as the developer looks to branch out into a wider range of media. Quote, the team has as its charter the goal of expanding the reach and awareness of the properties now under the development at Kojima Productions and to make them even more a part of our popular culture, explains Russell in an interview with GamesIndustry.biz. Quote, although we are a global organization, the new business development team will be centered in LA, California. We are truly excited and looking forward to working with the very best entertainment talent we can across all the entertainment industries. Kojima Productions was set up by video game designer Hideo Kojima in 2015, followed blah, 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 blah. That's... Okay, in June, Kojima offered some insight into the future during an interview where he stated that he was rethinking his creative process following the events of COVID-19 pandemic. Quote, in the past about creating things, I was always thinking about what could happen in society 5, 10, or 20 years, Kojima said in the interview. It was like predicting the future and adding the entertainment essence. And that's how I always created. But this time, the pandemic came much too soon. The reality came much too soon, especially on Death Stranding. So, I've changed how I think and create now. So, okay, neat.
It was kind of funny when you think about it, the pandemic being timed around Death Stranding.
Yeah.
People obviously made connections to it, some similar connections there.
Especially after jumping off so many parallels with the 2016 election season and Metal Gear Solid 2 and how news media traps people in a certain way of thinking into a conditioning and so forth. So yeah, Kojima always been kind of prolific in that way. I don't think that, unless this is just like an easier way for him to get things out the door, maybe like cheaper ideas that he doesn't want to turn into full-fledged games, and he can just be like, all right, this is a movie, here's an outline of a script, let me hand it to a writer I trust, and then they're going to go over to California and produce it. Who knows? Or maybe it's music, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, I don't know. It could be anything. I don't think this is anything to like necessarily get too excited about. I think we'll see a couple of headlines of Kojima's first movie, and then after that it'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, they release things every once in a while. They just they're out there doing things. So, neat, but I don't think it's going to be anything. And as far as like very working with the very best entertainment talent we can across all the entertainment industries, what are we really looking at here? This is a subdivision of one of the bigger video game studios, but not by far not the biggest. So what are we looking at here? Like some short films? Are we looking at a couple of miniseries? Co-signed by Netflix? Like what's going to happen here? I don't know. It's kind of all up in the air, and we can only think. Is this how we get perfect video game adaptations? Is by having it done in-house by video game based companies? I don't know. We're gonna find out. But honestly, I don't think you see anything from this for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's going to be a little while. Not even factoring in the production of movies or television shows or music, they probably don't even know what they're doing yet.
Exactly.
That's a bunch of different categories to choose from in terms of entertainment, but obviously Kojima is very well known for being a big cinephile. Mm-hmm. He constantly comments on Twitter. He has his own little following there, people who just listen to his opinions. It would make sense for him to be more hands-on with those kinds of things.
Oh, and he wears his inspirations on his sleeve, too.
He does.
Like, Metal Gear is Escape from New York. It's, it's Mission Impossible, it's 007, it's all of these things.
You can swap a lot of different movies in for his kind of games and
exactly
know what he's going for. So, we won't see it for a while, anything really, but I'm pretty damn excited to see what kind of stuff he does because, sometimes his gameplay can be criticized, especially with his last Death Stranding where there was a lot of walking, and I know some people enjoyed it like yourself. You found it very calming. I can definitely understand that.
I keep falling down. The game doesn't do what I want it to do. Why can't I climb a ladder the way I want to? Just press the goddamn button and push up on the stick. What is your issue? If it's a rocky terrain, don't put the fucking ladder there. What are you doing? Don't be an idiot.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
You don't want to fall down when you're walking? Here's the secret. Just hold both triggers. All the time. Just hold the triggers. That's all you need to do. You're almost never going to fall down. It's very easy.
I don't know how any of those mechanics work whatsoever.
Motherfuckers are stupid. That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, his games always seem like they'd be good movies.
I sound like a much harsher defender of Death Stranding than I am. Death Stranding has a lot of flaws. But, anyways. No, yeah, I'm with you. I'm just more intrigued of how hands-on he's actually going to be with this,
Well, fuck video games.
I don't think it's a secret that we're more interested in seeing a Kojima video game than anything else. So is this just a way for him? He strikes me as a man with many ideas, and for a long time he couldn't get those ideas out because he was trapped inside a Metal Gear Solid bubble. So is this just a way of him emptying out the vault and getting all these loose scripts he's had sitting around produced and into something? I don't know. We're gonna find out.
It would make sense.
It would. And then it's just again, it's how hands-on is he? How much does this pull? I still believe the next thing where Kojima branding, all the marketing behind Kojima's back, yada, 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 is going to be a video game. It's not going to be a movie. Mm-hmm. We might get a Kojima movie before the next video game, but we'll see. Who knows? Mm-hmm. I think we've also teased, that there is another project in the works alongside the marketing of the Death Stranding director's cut to kind of, get sales for that up. He was like, oh yeah, and I'm working on something else. And this could be that, or it's what we want, which is another game. So who knows?
Yeah,
we'll find out in the future. Connor, that is it for our very light news week.
Like we said, it's holidays. It's going to happen.
It's holidays. It's going to happen. So
we'll have a lot to talk about with the video game awards come out.
Yeah,
and next week. But besides that, it's going to be slow.
Yeah. So these next 2 weeks are all going to be about the game awards, the Keeleys as they are. But right before we get out of here, Connor, let's do as we always do and finish off with what we've been playing. Mm-hmm. I have not talked to you at all.
Nope.
About anything. So have you, Connor, this week been playing anything?
Not anything really new. I've been trying Halo again.
Oh, you've been doing more Halo?
Picking up Halo from time to time.
Okay.
I've only played for fairly short bursts.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed my time a lot with them.
Sure.
When was it? It was Friday night. I got done with some DoorDash orders, and I went and started playing Fiesta Mode because they offered that.
I also jumped in and saw Fiesta Mode, and I played around with that, yeah.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that because it was the first time I'd been able to get my hands on the wide array of weapons that, Halo has had, because only before then I'd played it twice.
Is it just a game mode where you just spawn with a different loadout every time?
Yeah, it's random two weapons.
That's the only one I played. So I was like, I don't know if there's more in this playlist or if it's just this mode.
Yeah, Fiesta was solely that kind of game mode where you killed everyone that you could. Yeah. Sometimes they would have, in the original games, they would have different Fiesta mode games, so capture the flag, things like that. But this one was just Slayer. Despite that fact, really like that I got my hands on the weapons that I hadn't played with before. I kind of am better with certain ones now than I was before. I got some
practice in with the Needler. Needler not as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah, I was going to actually mention that because it's one of the instant pickups when I see it because it runs that ammo quick, but it's almost confirmed kill with each clip. And and it tracks incredibly well, more so than any other Needler in all the Halos.
Yeah,
which is always what you want with the Needler because you have the two things that you like about it: the needles track and it makes them blow up.
And it makes them blow up. Yeah, no, yeah. So I'm right there with you. I only played a couple of matches this week. Most of it was just regular Slayer 4v4 type stuff. I played the Fiesta mode once, and I was like, okay, that was cool.
Yeah,
whatever. But it's not like, one team has a bunch of power weapons, and everybody else spawned with battle rifles. So okay, for this wave, we're just getting trounced. Yeah, that's just what it is.
That sometimes happens.
Not exactly like a balanced game mode, but it was fun to have one of those classic Halo modes in where it's just kind of chaos and you're just kind of playing with the arsenal of the sandbox, and so that was all fun and games and stuff.
they're going to be changing those games modes out. It seems like doing some new one a week. Did it look like
they're
that?
gonna they're gonna be having things coming in weekly and stuff. They did something with the challenges too, but I didn't fully understand what changed there. It's something like just to make battle pass progression a little easier and so forth. But yeah, I think we're gonna get like a couple of small rotating things out for the next few weeks. But as soon as the full game drops, I think we're gonna get the full scope of like, you know, here's the Slayer playlist, and here's the X playlist, and here's the Y playlist.
Which is what everyone's waiting for, because I've seen people complaining online of like, I gotta play Oddball. It plays, I don't like Oddball. I'm tired of playing Oddball. And then Capture the Flag.
By the way, why did they change the Oddball to no longer being a one-hit kill?
That's really stupid.
I don't like it.
Neither do I.
It's weird.
Yeah, I hit somebody once and was like, okay, they're dead. And then
they were not. They killed you.
And you don't even have an extra shield. Like, in the past games, didn't you have extra, like, health to save you?
No, you're thinking of VIP. Or,
VIP, yeah. But, yeah, you should just be able to whack them once and then die. So people can actually give you space. You don't instantly die to someone running up with a sword. Yeah.
Which is annoying. Give me the one-hit kills with those things back. Why?
Everyone liked them.
Yeah, nobody was complaining about that. Anyways,
I could see them just fixing that in the like later patch, like just.
Or maybe they won't. Maybe this is what it is now. Who knows?
It could.
Anyways, you been playing anything else besides Halo?
No, but I will be starting Guardians soon. I'll buy that.
Lovely. I'm also starting Guardians soon. But this week, I've been playing a lot of SpiderMan Remastered, working on the Platinum. I'm just like right there. I'm polishing off some DLC stuff, and then I got to do one small thing in the main game to get that Platinum. That'll be it. I've basically got everything 100%ed except for the New Game Plus trophy. I'm just gonna leave that. I'll get back to that at some other point.
Because you don't feel like playing through the whole game right now?
No, I don't feel like doing the whole game again.
Be an easy Platinum when you decide to wrap it up.
But Death's Door came to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. So I rebought and re-downloaded Death's Door onto PlayStation. Played to... I'm not quite where I was on PC yet, which wasn't that far. But I'm closing in on where I was. And yeah, this is a well-made game, man. Mm-hmm. The way they tutorialize, the way they build their world and the atmosphere and the way you want to explore and the charm of being this little bird Grim Reaper thing. And you're like, all right, I'm going to go get my soul. And you go out into the world and you're like, oh, I can't get the soul because a witch stole a key and is hanging out in her cabin or something. Okay, let me go fight this witch or whatever.
Yeah.
All that's fun, charming. Writing has a little, like, just enough tongue-in-cheek to keep it interesting. I did a little bit on stream and I was doing funny little voices and stuff as I was playing along and stuff. It's a fun game, man. It's a fun game. So I'm itching for that now. So that tells me that I'm going to play quite a bit of this before I put it down, or I'll go ahead and I'll beat it all the way through. So,
right. Good.
Very excited about that. Other than that, yeah, it was Spider-Man, Halo, Death's Door. I have Guardians of the Galaxy downloaded and installed. It's
on sale.
It was on sale. Get your pennies worth on that. Yeah, your little penny pinchers. But yeah, I was going to play Guardians, but I wanted to play on stream, and then I was like, Guardians uses licensed music. I want to experience it with the music that they wanted to give me, so let me play it off stream. Let me just do Death's Door for now, and now I'm hooked on Death's Door. So that's what it is. Connor!
About it? Sounds like it.
We're a little short, so you got anything else going on? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I failed to get any good Black Friday sales.
I didn't even try.
Yeah. No, see, I was upset because I haven't actually bought Guardians yet. I'm just going to because I saw that the sale goes on until November 30th. I'm just going to buy it when I get home.
It is the 28th.
Yes.
Yes. Go spend your $40, mate.
Yeah, I know. I the reason I didn't do it yet was because I was holding out for Amazon because I just, by happenstance, got a notification for how much it would be, and it turns out it was being sold for like $23. Saving a lot. Yeah, no, it was kind of a weird price, and I was like, well, I'm going to buy it that way. That sounds better. But it was sold out at the time. So I continuously checked back. It's available now, but the $23 is now like, it's like $50 now. So more on Amazon than it is for PlayStation. So now I just need to buy it on PlayStation. But I was a little bit miffed when I didn't get that. Also, I am trying to upgrade my PC.
Oh, we totally forgot with talking about the Kojima thing and is it games or movies that he's doing next. He's got this deal with Xbox coming out. So yeah, we're getting a Kojima game.
Did you remember that?
Probably first. I did just remember that. I'm sorry to cut you off. Anyway,
no, I forgot about that. PC. Yeah, because right now I'm playing Halo, for example, on my old Xbox One that I haven't touched to play games in years.
Yeah.
So the one thing I need for not only Halo but all like minor games that I might want to play is a new processor. So Black Friday wise, I wasn't able to get a new one there because I was hoping for one to be on sale. It wasn't, so I'm going to hold off on buying that later.
Check the Monday. That's Cyber Monday, baby.
You're right. That'll actually be the chances of actually being cheaper. Oh, never mind. Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
There you go.
I always forget that's a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
It is a thing. I mean, Black Friday isn't really a thing, like, per se anymore when you really think about it, because, like, there are stores that do Black Friday deals the whole goddamn week now.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, well, I guess there's nothing special about this anymore. And it's just, it's really just a whole marketing thing for consumerism and so forth. It's just, you spend your money and pretend that Christmas matters when it doesn't. Anyways. But!
Jesus. the pit there for a second.
That's beside the point. Connor, I'm so excited for you to get a PlayStation 5. Man.
I am too.
It's about goddamn time you joined us in the future.
But at the same time, you have to admit I will have the better PS5. It is not only the latest PS5, but it is also the one with the disc.
I don't have to admit it. And also...
Therefore, because I have the disc, I am now the actual gamer. Because...
Also, aren't you getting a worse version of it because it's something about like it overheats a little faster now, but it's cheaper material so that they can make it more?
I haven't heard of that, so I will say that is not true. I put disc in. I put my disc in.
I put the disc in. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be about it for our Two Penny Gamescast, episode 71. We kept it short because really there's just nothing to talk about here, guys. But next week, we're going to more than make up for it. There's going to be plenty to talk about. Remember, Game Awards predictions, baby.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what we voted for, what we think will win, different announcements and gameplay reveals and stuff, and whatever happens, we're going to be predicting. Lots of predictions going around. We're going to make a little game of it. You can keep track at home. You can compete alongside with us. Please tune in next week, Monday, 8 a.m. for that. Phil will be joining us. It's going to be a good-ass time.
Interestingly, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have to point it out begrudgingly. You did win last year because we
fucking
do a little point system. Yeah, I was not my A game, but this year I have the eye. I haven't written my list yet of what I'm going to predict, but
oh really?
I think
you got some ideas.
I think I'm going to win.
I've got some ideas, Connor.
Mm-hmm. You think you're going to win though? Having ideas is one. We all have ideas.
Connor,
Do you think you're going to win?
Connor, the last Game Awards predictions episode was episode 20 of the Two Penny Gamescast. All right. We are going to be at 72 next week. So you think in 52 episodes of me doing this goddamn show, I didn't progress in my way of evaluating the industry and the possible pros and cons and the things that are going to happen? I'm at my peak, baby. I've never been better. I'm fucking Robert Downey Jr. in the Avengers, baby. You're not going to get shit on me, dog. I'm Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, man.
Getting your ball slapped. Set yourself up for that one. Ball slapped, bitch. You see, you're over there flaunting your stuff.
Yeah.
I think I've been the same way. Ben, all we know is the only way to prove that is to actually sit down with another player, Phil.
The wild card, Phil.
And see who wins this.
We're going to crush him.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry. No, I'm going to crush him. And I'm going to crush you just like I do every fucking time.
See, I don't have the gall and the pride to say that I will crush any of you, but I will win.
Fucking destroy you.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Bet on it. Well, all right?
I won't, but we will. We will see.
Anyways, remember, 8 a.m. Mondays, youtube.com/2pennygamescast or mainstream podcast services of your choice. Google, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple. We're out there. Give us a like, follow, share with your friends. Go ahead and go back. If you haven't watched it, go check out the Jack 2 After the Hype review that we just put up 2 weeks ago now, I believe. Really, really proud of that video. I think it came out nice. We got a God of War 3 After the Hype review coming as soon as I get off my ass, I promise.
That's fine.
I hope to get it out this Tuesday, but we'll see. I'm a busy boy. Busy boy. And then eventually at some point a Jack 3 review will be coming as well. Remember, you can catch us live playing video games over at twitch.tv/2pennygames, where I jump on and I stream random stuff all the time. But every Tuesday at 1 p.m. we do a little show called Hype. Have You Ever Played? Me and Phil show each other games we've never shown or the other has never played before. We're doing God of War 2018. It's very special time for the Two Penny Games Hype series, because this is one of them motherfuckers.
This is one of the big ones.
This is one of them motherfuckers right there. That's like, this is why we did the show, is to show each other great big classic games. God of War 2018, undoubtedly one of the greats.
Yeah.
So come through, join us on that. Connor's going to be there, as he was for some of the Mass Effects.
Yep.
As he was something else. at some point? No?
No,
I don't think you were.
I was a big Mass. I was in there.
Showed up during the Mass Effects, is what I think.
Yeah, I know it was a big one. I think there was like one other one I did, but it was like smaller.
You were just there.
Not Resident Evil. No, I don't know.
You were in the chat for Resi.
I was, yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, come join us. We're all going to be there. It's going to be a great time. Day long stream, 1 p.m. Tuesday, and it'll be fun.
It will be.
Until then, have a great week, and Connor, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.